All good.
All is well, what ends well.
Looks like we got everybody here. We're just, we're on, guys. Now,
Okay.
but go ahead and talk. I'm going to go upstairs and I'll join you on my phone up there. I'll be on in a second. But just talk. It's fine.
Okay. I sent a message to Franny and then to Bayard, about the time, because I remember, Greg, that last week you told me something about changing the time, and I wasn't sure. And now I know that you are an hour back. Can you hear me?
Right. I can hear you.
Now can you hear me?
I think she's on mute.
No worries. Okay. Greg, are you there? Greg?
He's not here just yet, but he and Byron are late.
Ah, okay. Hi.
Hi.
I'm going to get me an armchair because I'm a poor old lady. Okay, I'll be back in a minute.
I'm getting some.
Jen, I have a question I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Great.
No problem.
Yesterday, you and I played a role.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a place in the role where you said to John McDonald, and I was you and you were John McDougal. And I was you and you said to John McDougal, you was saying, why haven't I heard of it before? And you said you would hear of it if it was a link on the homepage of your website. Remember that? Can you hear me? Jen?
What?
I think she just got disconnected.
Also, Mika.
Jen, are you there?
No, she's disconnected.
Well, it says she's still there, but we'll see. There's just a problem with the call. Maybe she's got a problem. I'll hang her up and call her back. How about that?
Good idea. How's your husband, Ross? Hey, where's Micah? He's off too.
He's fine. We are going to do some events next Wednesday at the hospital, events that we have already made, but each hospital made the exams again.
Okay.
Anyway, and then I think in a few days they will do this thing. I don't know if you call it an endoscopy. Does it make sense?
Yeah, we stick
Okay.
the hand inside. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
How do you?
And they will take a pic of the tumor to see what kind of thing it is. And then they will decide to operate and do what has to be done.
Okay.
And I'm keeping my finger crossed
All right.
and I'm working on him.
Great. What's his name again?
Roberto.
Roberto.
That's right. Bob.
Roberto. Or
Yes.
as we say, Bob. Bobby. Yeah. You know, two of my best friends from Santa Fe moved to Italy. They're so happy now. They're like really, really happy. I think you're their friends on Facebook. They live by the shore. So I'd like to go visit
Where's
them.
this?
How are you set up for visitors, Ross? What if I showed up at your doorstep?
Did you hear that, Ross? Ross didn't understand or didn't hear you.
She didn't hear me.
Hi.
Probably better.
Oh, hi,
Hi.
Jen. Finally, okay. She's
back.
coming back.
You mentioned John McDougal and it knocked you off.
Hi, Jen.
Hi.
What about Micah? What about Micah?
Well,
He was on video before.
Yeah, Micah is gone.
Micah was here on before?
Yeah, he got kicked off when he got on. He got kicked on. Call him back.
I'm having a terrible time with Bayard's screen here. Yes, Brandon, yeah. Just having trouble with the
Hey, Jen,
Yeah.
maybe while they're doing that, I can ask you this question, okay?
Okay. Let's go.
Now, what part of the question did you hear?
Yesterday we were doing a role play when I was John McDougal, and that was it.
There was a point in the role play where you said to John McDougal, he asked you, like, how come I've never heard of it? Remember that?
Yeah.
And do you remember what you said?
Well, I was
you.
Yeah.
And so I said it.
I was John McDougal. You said it.
Yeah. Yeah, but when I said what you said, I meant, me.
Right. Okay. No. Why hadn't he ever heard of it? Is that what you're asking?
No, I want to know if you remembered that part of the role play.
Oh, yeah, I remember it.
And, well, do you remember what you said to him?
Yeah.
What did you say to him? He asked, go ahead.
Because he hadn't put it on his, he hadn't linked it to his website, so that part.
And when he heard you say that to him, and you were being him,
Yeah.
what was it like to be him when he heard that? How did he feel or respond to hearing that?
I get that he felt like he could have done more to help, and that maybe, he, failed a bit on not doing that.
And what did he feel like doing when he felt that?
He wanted to help. He wanted to do it.
Okay. So, was that for him a good or a bad feeling?
A good feeling that he could do something and help more people.
Okay. And then we went on with the role play.
Right?
And what was his overall feeling, and what did he take away from the role play?
That he cured something. He felt good. He could see that it was something that he could share with other people, but on a personal level, he felt helped. He felt like he got something from somebody that was helpful.
Yeah, because he did a few tests and stuff.
Did a few tests, and he felt something.
And he felt, he actually felt a difference.
Yeah.
Greg, are you hearing this?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to tell you, and Greg, you can go in now. You can just go sit down and listen to this.
We all on? Everybody good?
No one heard you say that though. Oh, maybe they can hear you on this mic now. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's Micah. Let's see, what have I got here? I got Micah. Michael, lower your camera a little bit so that your head is almost touching the top of the screen like the other people's. That's better. That's much better. You look like a king of Africa. An African prince. I love your demeanor. I love the way you sit. You know, I think it's really...
These are cola nuts.
Greg's funny. Greg's got a wisecrack for everything. Okay. Greg was listening to us play the role yesterday, Jen.
Yeah.
And when he heard us play the role, he uncovered something about himself that was very, very important.
About who?
About Greg.
Oh, okay.
He learned
Good.
something about himself. And we had a long dialogue, and at the end of it, he said that he didn't trust anybody. Which is funny because he's very, very supportive of people. But he said he didn't trust anybody. And that's not exactly true. What is probably more accurate for Greg to say about himself is that he has this dysfunction that turns on and off. And when the dysfunction is not on, Greg is a very good person. He's very good with people.
Yeah.
As you can see when you talk to Greg, you know, people like Greg. He's good with people, you know. But when he is not, when he is in that dysfunction, Greg is incapable of holding even a simple conversation about facts. He descends into a morass of insanity in his conversations with, like, Franny, with anybody. He doesn't usually do it like when he's talking to the public, but this dysfunction probably affects him all the time, so that he can't really, like, in other words, for Greg to call, like, well, let's say one of his old friends from Cornell, okay? For Greg to call a school friend that he hasn't talked to in 35 years or whatever it is, and, you know, get support from that person might be difficult because Greg might hold back. And the reason people hold back is because they are afraid their dysfunctions are going to kick in. That's why people hold back. So I don't expect you guys to remember all this, by the way. Just so you know. But this is an example. Like this morning, Franny was saying, like, don't get into that letter writing thing again that you got into years ago. And what she meant by that was a very dysfunctional period where we used to write letters to people, but it was, we just weren't where we are now. You know, we weren't as self-aware of ourselves. Like, let me just bring you to something. Go to my Facebook wall. By the way, I don't think I have you as a Facebook friend, Micah, do I?
No, I didn't get a chance to set it up. I'll set it up over the weekend.
Okay, go to my everybody go to my Facebook wall. And what you're going to see there is, first of all, you're going to see a movie about, Bootsy, remember the movie that I put on your Facebook wall about, you know, the vegetarian doctor talking about the environment and how, you know, the production of meat is destroying the environment, that thing?
Yeah.
You haven't watched that yet, though, right?
No.
Okay. Well, this other guy actually says that he's wrong. And I put this, so what it is, I put a new movie on your Facebook wall.
Okay.
And it's also on mine, and that's the first thing on my Facebook wall. His name is Alan Savory. You see him?
I'm still getting to your Facebook wall.
Me too.
You what?
I'm still getting, okay, I know I'm here.
Okay, so you see the first thing on my Facebook wall is called desertification. And what he says is in this movie is, see, what I start to realize about these, you know, the people who give TED lectures, is that, see, I always thought like we were the only people who have a global perspective. You know, the Cure Drive has a global perspective and everybody else is a bunch of clueless babies. And now I've listened to a series of TED lectures, and I realize that these people are like us. Ross, go on mute if you're going to talk to somebody. Ross?
Yes, okay.
All right. He set up programs all over Africa. And they raise animals for food, and they graze them, and the grazing of the animals restores the land. It doesn't destroy it, it actually fixes it. You with me?
Yes.
Boots?
Yeah. I don't see the movie, though, on your Facebook wall.
A movie with Alan Savory, right at the top with Alan Savory. I see it.
Okay, okay, yeah, okay, that's how was chicken. But is that just in deserts?
You have to hear the movie.
Okay.
Just because Dr. McDougall is not actually as cutting edge as he thinks he is, doesn't mean nobody is. You with me? Now, right under it is a letter to a potential ally. And if you click continue reading, you can read the letter. So go ahead, click continue reading and read the letter. I want somebody to read it out loud. How about Boots? Can you read it out loud?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Dear Knight, around 20 years ago, 1993, I taught myself with the help of a chiropractor friend to get signals. And those signals led me to cure 2 medically incurable diseases. Does this sound a little like one of your screenplays? You are certainly a person who gets signals and is probably well aware of them. Years later, when I saw a lady in the water, gave me an idea. I put together a little group, people who had the same result I did, to do something that feels to us as daunting and scary as what your characters did in that movie. We've been meeting weekly on Skype and throughout the day on Twitter for a couple of years. Have we fallen together into the right configuration yet? If we have, the configuration is not yet complete. I want to talk to you because I've gotten the idea into my head that connecting with you and people like you can push us into another level with this project. I hope you'll take this opportunity to give something to a few people who are attempting something parallel to what your characters, who you created so long ago as a bedtime story for your children, did. We want to engineer a global miracle. I haven't had a flu in 2 years. and very ordinary people and children learn this very easily. We can really have a global shift. I'm hoping you'll call and tell me a time when we can talk. I'm in Florida. My best time is between 9 and 10 in the evening, but mornings are good too. I should probably also say that since I am monstrously choosy about who I hang out with, given the constraints of my time, I know that you must be in the same position, and I won't be offended if I never hear from you or by a polite turn down. You have helped me to imagine what can be and to courage in the face of my own fallibility. Your movies are meditation. That's why I watch them more than once. Thanks for reading this, Fire.
Thank you, Boots, for that wonderful reading. I would like everyone to discuss it. I want to hear what you understood about talking to people from listening to that and looking at it. And you have it right in front of you so you can continue to refer back to it.
Well, I could just like copy and paste and put John McDougall's name up there. And
That's true. That's what we used to do. Yep. Feel free.
That's great.
You like your copy and paste it and put for his project.
Right.
It's a good letter. Well, I'll say that I've thought about that kind of letter for so many people, and I've had that sort of a conversation like that with many people. And it's good to make sure that you're enjoying yourself while you're writing, and that everything you say is like stands alone. Like when you said it's okay if you don't write me back, or I won't be offended. I understand. That was like, like you got what you needed out of writing it, or for yourself. But as the reader of the letter, I would think, this guy's sincere and he's going to go on to other people until he gets his result, and why not give him a hand? You sound like a fan that appreciated his work, that is applying, what his art is to what you're doing. I think that would get you a call back. That's what I thought. That's what I think. The more personal you make it, like it's not a generic letter. If you want you back to experience it.
Barb, your voice is fading.
You've actually experienced his movies and his work, so I think people appreciate that when it doesn't look like a boiler letter. The thing I saw about writing people was I don't want to be writing until I have Dragon Naturally Speaking too. It's just too much typing, so much hassle. But if I had a dictating program, it would be a lot.
The funny thing is, I actually used the free Dragon app to do this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It takes like 10 minutes to download it, or 5 minutes to download the thing, and you got it on your smartphone and you just use it.
Yeah.
It was funny because I was standing on my head when I had the idea, and I said, I should do this, I should check this out and see if it can be done with this. And I should give this to everybody so that they'll know that they can do this way.
When did you write it?
You what?
When did you write that letter?
The day before yesterday.
Uh-huh.
What is Lady in the Water?
It's the name of a movie that this person wrote. We could each write one of these letters. What about you now?
But you mean writing these letters to the patron?
No, to a person that's touched your life. Like this guy, Night Shyamalan, he's a director, a movie director from Philadelphia. So this letter refers to his movies, and he's an American director. And so if you think of somebody in your life who's touched you or someone's work you admire, who's inspired you, then that would be the person that you would, communicate with. Who would that be for you then, anyway, Ross?
Excuse me?
Do you know people like that, or does somebody come to mind?
No, not really.
I have tons of them. I even think about my close friends and famous people. Some people are just regular people. Anyway, what about you, Nell? What'd you see? She ever mute on? Hello? Micah? M. Night Shyamalan's from Philadelphia, by the way. You know who he's talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how was that for you?
Well, my whole thing is you have to contact people to let people know what you're doing if you want to communicate with them.
Yeah.
And it never hurts to reach out, but you never know who will do what. So what you do is you just throw your net out and just see what you catch.
Yeah.
Somebody will respond. Somebody will get it back.
From reading that letter, what do you think he was asking? If you were the receiver of the letter, what was he asking for?
Well, I mean, for me, if I was the receiver, it's all about what's going on with me internally. If I'm at the point in my life that I'm open to really responding to people, then I would possibly respond. If I'm not really at that stage, then the timing isn't really right for me, so no matter what he wrote, it's not going to make any sense. It was a good letter, it was an intelligent letter. However, it's all about me, if I'm the receiver, where I'm at in my space. And so the thing is, that's why I said again, you have to throw your net out and see where people are at. You're only going to connect to the people who are actually in that space that they're able to receive what you're putting out there. Otherwise, no matter how great it is, they're not going to really get it because they can't connect with you. And so what you're looking for is those that are ready for the connection, and you build on them and you network through those people to find others in their circle that you can connect with also. That's how I would do it.
Yeah, that's good. Do you think you have to be specific in the request that you're making in the letter? Because I was listening to every word. I liked the letter. I think I've almost heard something like it before, but I was like, what exactly is he asking for? If he wants a call back, I got that part. But
he asked for action when he asked for the call back. He showed appreciation, but it's all about where a person's at, because a person could say, oh, he's just trying to pump me up so he can get what he really wants. He's, nobody I want to talk to. It's the mindset of the reader, and you can't justify that because you can't look him in the eye. You don't have a one-on-one conversation with him. You can't talk to his friends. So you really can't read it. So the thing is, you're sending a blind letter out there trying to figure out what's going to happen. However, if it was the right person, then they would read it the right way and they would just connect. I mean, we're doing this whole cure drive thing, but what we're really doing is we're doing metaphysical stuff, and we're dealing with spirits and entities and all kinds of stuff like that. They'll find us the right people who's supposed to receive this. All we got to do is cast the net.
Right. One thing I like about these letters going out, because I send a lot of these letters. At one point, the thing that Fran was talking about, we send a lot of letters even out here in Santa Fe. But just knowing that the person got the letter, like if I ever ran into M. Night Shyamalan, I could say, oh yeah, my friend wrote you a letter. You know me, like even if he didn't read the letter or get the letter, or his assistant read the letter, like it's a contact, it's like one contact. Like I know Jane Fonda got one of these letters, Ellie McGraw, people like that. Val Kilmer, I think, got one. So even if they didn't read it, I can say, oh, did you get my letter?
Right.
You put on this, it's like gives you an in. It's like another contact.
Well,
and after a while,
the thing is with me, I've never been wasn't afraid to contact anybody, to talk to anybody. You know, none of that is a concern of mine. My whole thing is just actually connecting with the right people. And I don't try to force anything on people. What I do is I just cast a net and then I receive what's supposed to be there for me and build from that point. So whatever method of communication that you use, whether it's a letter, it's a postcard, it's a phone call, it's telemarketing, it's, you know, blasting on your Facebook or whatever else that you do, it's all about finding the ones that are receptive and are ready to go. And if we're, you know, working with what we're doing in the metaphysical of this, then what we should be asking for is for those people to find us. Then we're not really just looking for them, they're looking for us. It's like me. How I got here.
Stop!
I was looking for.
Thank you! Stop!
That's how I got
that means you don't talk. And then you zipped your lip. Now, I want to ask a question here. Bootsy, as you're listening to this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
How does Micah seem to you?
I like what he said. It makes sense.
Okay.
He's talking about attracting the right people
Yeah.
and using, you know, different methods to do that and not taking it personally when it doesn't happen.
Uh-huh. Do you think that he understands what I was trying to do with this letter? You're testing, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just to cut to the chase, Micah hasn't been around long enough to understand it. Mike, it's nothing against you, you know. You're fine. It's just you just need a little more experience. That's all. You know. So listen a little more, talk a little less. How about that?
Hey, that's fine.
Okay.
He brought up a point though, like that's what I was trying to get to, is like what specifically is the right demand to make on the letter, in the letter, like what, because the person's either
Okay,
think,
stop, Barb, stop. Okay. The right demand is in the letter.
I know, I'm saying it went over my head and I've been here a long time. So that's what I'm saying. I got the part that demand called me back, but I
you know
didn't
what?
get the other demand.
You know what? I'll tell you what I was saying about Greg earlier.
Okay.
I think that the people who were in our old staff were damaged by doing that. That's you, Greg, Franny, Keeley, and so on. And that it could be very difficult to understand this if you're bringing that into it. Because the thing is really so simple. It's just a reaching out for a relationship with somebody who I happen to like and understand. It is not casting a net. We have a net out. It's you know, it's it's our website. We have Micah, you'll be pleased to know that we have a huge net and thousands of people come to our website all the time. I put up a 4.5-hour movie on the home page, and in 2 weeks 50 people watched it. That's probably 3 people a day spending 4.5 hours watching a movie. And so it goes into long-term memory. So that's done. You know, we've done that. And that's doing what it does. We're getting what we get out of it. And not much more than that. So now what we have to do, like, you know, first you saturation bomb and then you send in the troops. And the troops go from house to house, right? Barb?
Yes, ma'am, boss. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I go with their, yeah. But they need to know exactly what to ask for. Like when I show up at M. Night Shyamalan's house, they say, hey, man, you know, we need you to like either, push this thing over the top. Call me, Oh, by the way, I love your movies. They've made a big impact on me. Like, I need to be specific. They get a lot of these letters. Like, like either you're...
Barb!
Mute. Okay, yeah.
You're going into something.
What did you say? What did you just say? Go into something? I didn't hear it.
If Knight were to call me, I would have to know what to say to him.
Yeah.
We both agree. We understand that. You and I understand that. We both agree on that.
Yeah, and if you were I believe from my experience, if you were wanting him to call him, you have to say something that elicits the call. Like, I can,
Well, in your opinion, did I say what I needed to say in my letter?
No, there was something missing. It was intriguing, and he might call, and it sounds like he learned something.
Okay, so you think it was no good. You would write it different.
I think there was something vague about just getting signals. Yes, I didn't get the part where you used
So you would write a different letter.
I would add something to it, yeah. It would add a little bit more specifics to it.
Bootsy, what about you? Would you write a different letter?
Well, I'm thinking, like, if I were to write to John McDougall, I might, I would change a few things, yeah.
What?
But that's probably because of the person I'm talking to.
What'd you say?
It depends on the person.
That has something to do with the person I'm talking to, the person that's reading the letter, so.
Yeah.
There would be a few different things. I would appeal to what, what he needs to hear from me.
Or maybe you'd say you cured something with it, or whatever you did with it.
But Bootsy, let me ask you. Just being me writing to Knight Shamlin, right at this moment, is this what you would write as me? Or do you find that it's missing?
Well, you wrote it, so if I was you, I would have written it like that. And I don't know who this guy is. It's a good letter.
He's a director.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't know the movie.
No, personally, right.
I don't know, like, what kind of guy he is.
Yeah, so one thing...
You probably get a lot out of the movie, so...
One thing that we're learning here is that we have to know the person and talk to the person. And everything, and every last letter would be different. So, well, when you started, you said, I just copy this and paste it and send it to John McDougall. But you were kidding. I knew you were kidding. Barb, did you know she was kidding?
Yeah, a little bit, but actually that's true. That's kind of like, I was thinking the same thing, actually. Like you change a few things. You change the name. You say, I loved your play or your the other night.
No. Wrong. Wrong.
Wait, before you go on, because you might be in a symptom. It's like what I mean is like the basic thing, like acknowledging the person, mentioning their work and how it affected you personally, saying how you learned about IMMUNICS. It would all be different and personal. Like I didn't learn it from the chiropractor, I learned it from Chrissy or whoever. So I would say what I learned and what I cured. You didn't mention what you cured, by the way, in the letter, or that you cured anything. I didn't hear that part. But you have a personal connection with him, so from your experience, you connected with that connection, and if you felt good about the letter, that's fine. But as a outside reader, I didn't get, like, you didn't say, this could save the world, and this could
go back to my Facebook wall.
HIV in Africa.
Go back to my Facebook wall and look at the thing underneath this. So you're on my Facebook wall. Go to my Facebook wall, go to this, and then underneath it. And underneath it, there's a letter from Lise Andreasen. Oh wait, underneath it, there's another...
I I see her share. Yeah, I know. I saw that.
That's funny.
No, it's all of this.
Lisa Andreasen wrote to us, and I found it very moving.
I think there's a lot of people out there like Lisa Andreasen.
And so what I did, now I'm going to share something, and it's going to be at the top of my Facebook wall. I wrote a little, like, sort of like a guide, and it's here. Okay? And it says note or email to a potential supporter. See it? Now this is going to be at the top of my Facebook wall. You have to refresh my Facebook wall. It's going to be at the very top. Can you see it?
Yeah.
So, I want you to read that thing aloud.
Okay. All right. Note or email to a potential supporter. Assistant of person you're writing to, please make sure that the actual genuine person you're writing to sees this and can rule on it for himself. How you know, including mutual friends and what you have in common with, were inspired by person you're writing to. Example, around 20 years ago, 1993, I taught myself with the help of a chiropractor friend to get signals. And those signals led me to cure 2 medically incurable diseases.
No, that's the letter to night.
Yeah, but well, that's what you put in here. That's the example.
Yeah.
This is good. This is what I'm talking about. This is good. This is what's in here. You're giving an example of how you did it. Okay, go on. You're doing it.
Should I go on?
Wait, Boots?
What?
Does this thing you're reading say Dear Night at the top?
No. This is the note or email to a potential supporter.
Okay, sure. Go ahead, read.
Okay, well, there's part of the night letter, and then underneath it, there's a couple more.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks so much for doing this, by the way. Now, I know this is seeming like a difficult meeting here. But anyway, keep going.
Okay.
Wait, don't read that.
Skip the night.
Then underneath it says your story. And you
okay, that's what I thought. All right.
Now what I did is I took the Lisa Andreasen, the thing that she wrote, and read what she says.
Okay. I'm going to do a correction. I nearly died 3 years ago of collapsed lungs and are keeping everything at bay now with healing, homeopathy, and IMMUNICS. Is on my way of knowing exactly when I need to take remedies and medication. It is fantastic. Not only that, but I speeded up my spiritual healing of myself with IMMUNICS. I spent days, weeks testing and removing. I reach almost every day 148th dimension. Sometimes it goes down to 120, but not for long, 1 minute. I have really spent lots of time in the great IMMUNICS integrating IMMUNICS into my life as well. Wonderful tool to buy the right present for your friends. Cool. You want the next one?
Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
Why I want to talk to you. I use it in my healing sessions and counseling sessions. My cat benefits too. You should hear the purring when I start removing on her. It's so good, but not a lot of people in my circles have continued, or shall I say, persevered with it, integrated it. I have only one person, a lady of now 80, who is a fine immuner, and says to me often, I don't think I would be alive if it had not been for IMMUNICS. It would be a miracle. You would remember me. It would be a miracle if you would remember me.
It wouldn't be a miracle because she was in the Cure team, let's say a couple of years ago. So of course we remember.
Who is this? Lisa?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've never met her, Jen. But I was particularly interested in her because she has a COPD, which is the same problem I have. So I talked to her, and I remember she was in the Cure team. She was in the Cure team.
Okay.
And she dropped out. Why?
Because she had an argument with you, Byard.
And her argument was?
Reason number 2B. Argument required.
Her argument.
Yeah, she said, I remember well, she said that as she has emphysema and COPD, and it's very hot in Spain, she couldn't be by the computer when you wanted her to send what we used to do on Facebook, okay? And you had sort of a row, and then she thanked you. She was very elegant, I have to say. And she told you, okay, if I don't have the requirement to be here, I will leave. Thank you very much for what you gave me. And then, let's say a month later, we decided to see if she wanted to come back, and I got in touch with her, and she didn't answer me. Do you remember?
Barb, just so you know, this form that you're looking at existed before today.
Okay.
I made it weeks ago,
Uh-huh.
months ago.
Uh-huh.
And it had an entire section telling the person that I want to teach them how to cure things and da-da-da, all that stuff. I deleted it.
Okay.
The thing that you were just suggesting to put in was in, and it was removed. Why?
Yeah, but maybe...
Why did I remove it? Tell me.
Maybe it's not really what you want. Maybe what you want is to cause them to make it possible for you to teach millions of people to cure things. Like you're looking for a celebrity backer. You're looking for someone who makes this available to a lot of people fast.
Let me ask you something. Suppose, and maybe we're going back to what Micah was saying before, actually. Because maybe, you see, as Boots pointed out, Micah had a point. He did have a good point.
Yeah, we were having a good discussion. I mean, but it was not.
Now, let me. Okay, so let's just see if we can focus on this. Okay, let's say that M. Night Shyamalan does not want to take on supporting a charity, making something global, you know, like working for something, but he might be interested in having a friend who was a global, world-changing person who he meets with and exchanges ideas. And so might I. Would that be a good thing for me to do with him? But he doesn't want to, like, he doesn't want to tell anybody about it or be a celebrity supporter. But he just would be okay with having a relationship with me where he gives me an idea that causes this to tip.
Yes.
So is it worth it to be open to that possibility and write him that way?
Totally. Yes.
Okay, well then that's what I did. I wrote for that. I asked for that. And then it could develop, obviously. Let me put this another way. You teach a lot of people how to cure things every day, right? Or a few, one or two, right?
Yep.
And when you do, what we got into in the last couple of weeks is after you don't ask them for money before you teach them. You just show them how to do it. But what we got into was, at the end of the conversation, may I have some money? Right?
Yep.
So would you think that maybe I could exchange ideas with M. Knight, and at the end of the conversation I might say, may I have some global support?
Totally.
May I have a fundraiser? I don't have to say that in my letter.
Okay.
I can get on the phone with them and say.
I have to say, I think you're asking us what our impressions of the letter were. So that was my impression. I didn't quite get to the demand. So maybe the demand is, I'd like to talk to you and exchange ideas.
Read the letter again, right now.
Yes, it was in the
But
letter.
don't read it out loud. Just,
And you did say that
I want to
you-
talk to Micah for a minute, so read it again. Micah, remember what you were saying about casting a net?
Yes?
Okay. Well, obviously, this is not a net. It's more like. Have you ever seen Day of the Jackal?
No.
Okay. Do you have Netflix?
Yes.
Okay. It's on streaming. Look it up.
Okay.
Not right now. Not right now. Just look it up and watch it. I'll just tell you, I was watching an interview with Steven Spielberg where he was talking about his, like what influenced him when he started making movies. And the two movies that he named were Lawrence of Arabia and Day of the Jackal, which stands as one of the, for filmmakers, it's one of the most important films ever made. It's a brilliant film. You're going to love it, really.
Okay.
Now, it's about a sniper. Day of the Jackal is about it's about an assassination attempt, and what we're doing.
Watch the original, not the
remake. Watch the original. The original has James Fox in it, and the remake has Bruce Willis in it. Don't watch the Bruce Willis version.
Okay.
Now, the Franny always has to bring. That's important. Thank you, Bono. Thank you, Franny. Okay. Even though this is not a net, it's a sniper approach. We are looking at. We get to know one person, and we try to get into relationship with that person. Now look at you. What are you doing now? Like you have a healing practice?
Yeah, I work with people, and I've been helping people in reference to healing different things.
Okay. And you earn your living that way?
Part of it, yes.
Okay. Now, if you notice, your people, like, how do you find the people?
They find me.
Exactly. That's right. And also, have you noticed that a lot of them come from one who you already succeeded with?
Correct.
Yeah. You don't like send out a letter on the internet, and with reaching 50,000 people and see who shows up, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Referrals.
Yeah, referrals and that sort of thing. Or you may even just meet somebody in the supermarket and somehow they're drawn to you. This is Barb. Barb, people are always walking up to her. Does that happen to you?
Yes.
Okay. So somebody walks up to you, they find you. And so
I do shows also.
In what?
I'm doing shows. I'm starting to do shows now.
Oh, you mean the expos?
Expos, events, things of that nature. I'm doing one in the LA Convention Center next month, so I'm starting to get around with that type of stuff. Going to churches and different things.
Fantastic. That's great. I wanted to tell you, remember when you were talking about doing workshops for the Cure Drive a few weeks ago?
Yes.
Well, you might find that you prefer to just work with people one-on-one. Like we did workshops for a living for years, and we made millions. Like we made like $2 million a year sometimes, $1.5 million. It's a lot of work. We had like 600 assistants. We had 600 unpaid volunteers in 5 cities, and at one time we had 75 paid people on staff. Producing workshops is a huge amount of work. But on the other hand, you can work with anybody in the world on Skype. So, and you're doing it now, right? I mean, that's what you're basically doing is one-on-one, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now, when you were talking about putting out a net, what you were saying is really relevant in this way, that this letter is a net.
Yes.
See, and what I'm trying to do with it, see, Barb is talking about, like, tell them what you want to do. I don't want to do that because then it won't be a net anymore. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. All right. It's only a net if I'm saying, just call me, let's talk, and whatever. See, so we're not actually trying to see who jumps into the net, but what we're trying to do is see what from a specific person comes into the net when we talk.
Right. You're fishing for tuna specifically.
Yes, we're fishing for tuna specifically, but once we get a tuna, then when we open up the tuna, we find out whether we can sell it to the Japanese or not.
There you go. Right.
We have to look at the quality of the meat.
Right.
If the meat is good enough, then the Japanese will buy it for like $400 a pound, and if not, we can sell it for $2 a pound to a wholesaler on the shore.
Right.
Okay. I wanted to go back to Bootsy.
Is she there?
Bootsy, are you there? No. Okay. Tell you what then, Micah.
She got hungry.
maybe watching me eat can do that to people.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a person that when you think of a certain person, you think that person could get, 200 people to show up at their house for, like to if they wanted to give them a free lesson on Saturday morning in curing things. Okay? And also they have the money to cater it. And they could just call 200 of their friends and they'd all show up. Do you know, can you think of anybody like that? You don't have to necessarily know the person.
I would have to think it through. I mean, if it was me, I would look for somebody who already has influence with people who are open and receptive to what we're trying to accomplish. They already have the audience. And then influence that person to make the decision that this is a good thing to move forward. That's what I would do. Because there are people now who know what we're looking for. All we have to do is get them to join the team or join the mission or the goal or see the vision. Because if they see it, they can already just automatically put it in because they already have everything we're trying to accomplish.
All right, who like that can you think of?
I think of people who are already into
Give me a
healing
name.
practices.
Give me a person's name.
I don't have anybody I can think of off the top of my head. I'd have to think about it.
going to a show. It's about New Age healing, am I right?
No, it's for massage therapists. Actually, what happened is there's a lady who has.
All right, never mind. It's okay. I get the idea. All right. Okay, I was wrong about it. I shouldn't have asked you that question. It's just something as you say, you have to think about it. You're not ready to answer it yet. So I'll go with boots. Okay. That's okay, Micah. You take your time. No problem. Okay, Bootsy. Have you watched any of the TED Talks?
One or two.
Okay, you watched a couple. Can you picture yourself giving a TED Talk?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. So, give me the first 3 minutes. You're on. Go.
About what?
About this.
About what? I just left the room for 5 minutes.
You're going to give a TED Talk where you tip IMMUNICS. You're going to tip Cure into global consciousness on TED.
Yeah, I need to prepare for that.
Goldie Hawn is in the audience. George Clooney is in the audience. They're all listening. No time to prepare. Go.
Okay, I have the cure for incurable diseases, and I'm going to show you all how to do it right now. So just relax, take a couple deep breaths, and you're going to ask a question. And you're going to wait for a signal. Any signal, most people get a signal through their fingers, but it's an involuntary signal. So, oh God, I'm not good at this.
You're great. You're great.
I don't know, I think you could probably squeak through with what you're doing.
Yeah,
really?
So actually you're...
I mean, come on, if I gave a TED Talk, I think it's
Only you can pull this off.
I think you're not as bad as you think you are. It's just keep going.
It's like the German test all over again.
Keep going, keep going.
Okay, so let's all relax. We're gonna do a little testing here. Wait for a signal. So I'll just say I get a signal in my finger, my left hand, and you may feel a little difference in your body somewhere, but just kind of be aware that something is going to change. So we'll all start with the question, can I cure things? And just relax and see if you get any kind of signal in your body from that.
I got a signal.
Great! Well, there it is. That's how we cure disease.
Will you give me some? No.
Now, will you give me some money? May I have some money? That's a nice.
May I?
It's really that simple. And thousands of people have done it. I have done it. I know lots of people that have done it. I show people how to do it all the time. I think that was 3 minutes.
Cut. It really wasn't bad.
Fabulous.
It really wasn't bad. I mean, it ain't rocket science, you know?
No. I mean, I could do it a lot better. I'm not bad at public speaking, but, you know, I'd like to think about it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go into that John McDonald role play. But this time what's happened is that you got John McDonald on the phone with me. You told him, just call Bayard and he'll talk to you.
Oh, okay.
I want you to talk to Bayard. And so John McDonald and I are talking. And I'm John McDonald. And you're Bayard. So now I want you to channel me.
McDougal. Vibration would be wrong. Be John McDougal or you'll have it wrong.
McDougal. I want you to channel me, okay?
So I'm you and you're John McDonald.
I did it! I got you to say it! John McDougal, okay.
This is going to be a disaster if I ever talk to this man.
I am John McDougal, MacDougal, and you are the big
John
B.
McDougal, John McDougal, John McDougal. Okay, we're John McDougal. Now I'm you, right? Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, I can't hear you that well, but
That's because he's about halfway across the house.
it sounds like that.
He'll be back in a sec.
Okay.
You know, there are a lot of things that I want to support.
Are you John McDougal now? Are we in it?
Yeah, I'm John McDougal.
Okay, because are we on the phone? You gotta say hello. Let's do it right.
No, we're in the middle of the conversation.
Okay, we're in the middle of the
We're in the
conversation.
middle.
All right, I'm ready.
There are just a lot of things that I really, really do want to support. And I can't. I have to focus on this vegetarian issue. And so, you know, while I think what you're doing is worthy and I'd love to help you, but you have to understand that I have many friends, they're Reiki masters, they're EFT teachers, I have a very good friend who is a psychic healer who's marvelous and has cured many people. I know these things work. I have no doubt that what you're doing is good. I don't really know that much about it. But I can't put a link on my homepage. I just can't get involved. I have too much on my plate.
Well, this is going to help you. This isn't going to add more to your plate. It's going to help you help more people, and this is going to support what you're doing, your mission, and it's going to make it easier for you.
All of my friends, you know, I have had many people ask me, my Reiki friends ask me, like, put Reiki on your homepage, and they say they want to do sessions on me. I don't really have time to do all the sessions I'd like to do with Reiki or especially Reiki. I have some very close friends. My wife is a Reiki master. She wants me to lay down and do a session. I can't do it. I just don't have.
Okay, well, this doesn't take a lot of time. This is something you can do throughout your day, all day long.
Cut.
It doesn't take.
Cut. Okay. How did you feel being by or doing that?
Good.
Are you sure you felt good doing that?
I did.
Okay, good.
It felt better than being me doing it, so.
It might. Let's exchange roles. Okay? And this time, you be McDougal and I will be you.
Okay, are you talking to me now?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
Bootsy, you're McDougal and I'm you.
Okay, same.
Yeah, you're doing exactly what he did.
Okay, so you want me to say the same resistant stuff. Okay, well, I understand what you're doing here, and I think it's a great cause, and I have lots of people, lots of friends that do wonderful work that I'm completely supportive of, but I just have to focus on what I'm doing. I can't take on these other things. It's just too much right now. I wish you the luck. I support what you're doing, but I just can't put a link on my site.
Well, I got some good news for you and some bad news.
Well, let's hear it.
Which do you want first?
The bad news.
The bad news is you're galloping down the wrong gully.
Okay, let's hear the good news.
You're going to get massacred.
That's the good news?
No, that's the bad news. The bad news is that where you're going ends at the end of your life with failure. You're not going to be able to do what you want to do. It's not going to happen. That's the bad news.
All right, let's hear the good news.
The good news is I'm here for you. That's the good news. You know that feeling that you had a few minutes ago?
Yeah.
That's gone now?
Yeah.
That's what it happens to it. It's gone. You got to have to do a lot more of this. It's going to take a lot of your time. It's going to be a lot of work. This is going to be very difficult for you. Okay? But at the end of this road, you get to do what you want to do. This will realize your dream. You will save the environment. You will stop factory farming. You will end global warming. You will stop people from eating, all this animal protein that they don't need. You will win with this. But if you keep going as you have been, you know that movie you made where you were saying we have to unite, and they were all saying, yeah, let's unite, remember?
Sure.
Remember the talk you gave? That was dumb. You really think that these people are going to unite? Hello? Earth to John. You can't. You're going to get up there like you have the hubris. You're going to stand up in front of them and say we're going to unite, and they're going to do it. They're going to say they're going to do it, but it doesn't mean they're going to do it. So, smell the coffee, buddy. Wake up and smell the coffee. You got a lot more to do than this, too. For one thing, you are not actually mainstream. You ever listen to any TED Talks?
Yeah, I have.
Those people are mainstream. They're cutting edge. You're not one of them. And you have to become one of them to accomplish what you want to accomplish. You got to change. You're going to have to change. This isn't about all these idiots uniting, which they can't do. It's about you becoming the person who gets this result. I care about you. Why do you think I wrote to you? You gave me something. You saved my life. You saved so many people's lives. So one of us decided we had something to give back to you. Be smart. Take it. Because when I walk out of here, you go down that gully.
Wow. I don't usually talk to people like this. People that I don't know don't talk to me like this.
They don't?
No.
Well, you may not know me, but I know you, so I can talk to you. I have to cut. We're not in the role play anymore. What was it like to be him?
Oh, I think you blew his mind.
But he knew he was hearing the truth. I could see.
Yeah.
I could see it on his face. You really do a great fucking job of channeling these people. I have to tell you, like, you've got the knack of it now. You are a good channel. I got 2 stories to tell. Tell me a little more about what it was like to be him.
He was he was a little uncomfortable, and he was thinking, wow, this guy's like, I can't believe he's saying this stuff, but then like,
Wait, it was you, Bootsy. I was being you. It was a woman saying it to him. You. I was you. You were him and I was you.
Mm-hmm.
Take a deep breath.
You did say she was channeling McDougal.
Yeah, she was channeling McDougal. She did a great job. You were McDougal and I was you.
Yeah.
So go ahead. What?
Well, he was a little taken aback by somebody that he doesn't know saying this stuff to him, but it hit home, like really hit him in the gut, like, he's hearing the truth.
See, here's the thing, okay? What Ross was saying about Lisa Andreasen?
Yeah.
That she had an argument with me and she walked away. I wanted her to do something, or I told her she had to do something to be on the Cure team, and she didn't want to do it, and so she left, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Now, what do you think the difference is between Lisa Andreasen and John McDougal?
Well, she didn't want to hear the truth, I guess.
Does John McDougal want to hear the truth?
I think he does want to hear the truth.
Does John McDougal want to achieve his objectives?
Yeah.
Is he willing to change or sacrifice whatever he needs to do that?
I think he does, yeah.
Is Lisa Andreasen like that? Test.
No.
Just a test. What do you get when you test?
I get a no. Lisa is not willing to do that. Sorry, I gotta go 1 second. I'm sorry, hold on.
You want? What did she say?
He has to take care of something.
Oh, what about you, Ross? Let me ask you. Is Lisa Andreasen willing to change, and does she have an objective she wants to achieve and so on?
I think so.
Okay, is she willing to do what she has to do to achieve it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the fact that she works to us is, I see it as reaching out to us. And then there had been a misunderstanding between you and her. Now, okay, I can avoid going into that, but you misunderstood each other.
Well then, maybe you should call her and talk to her about that.
You should do that. I'll do it if you want me to. But she had the misunderstanding with you, practically, to cut a long story short. She had agreed with you because she wasn't your team before me. She had agreed with you that given her condition of emphysema and bronchitis and everything, she would post a video whenever she could. And you had agreed to that. Then probably you forgot about that. And there was this argument where you told her that she wasn't doing enough. She got angry and she left. But she left in a nice way. spanking and everything. And then already, I'm talking about a couple of years ago, even not 3, I got in touch with her. I didn't talk to her, but I wrote her a message asking if she wanted to be back in the CureTeam, and she didn't answer. I can talk to her now if you want. Why not?
Good. Do it. Because anybody you talk to is good practice, aren't they?
Okay.
So use Lise for practice. Also, you can tell Lise that I would be happy to discuss anything she wants to with her personally myself.
Good. Okay, I'll do it.
And we can also make a time when the 3 of us can meet and talk if we want.
Why not? Yes.
So.
Do you want me to call her first, and then?
Yes. You need to first, Ross. First, you straighten it out. I do not want to talk to her unless you have straightened it out with her first, and you know what she wants to say. And if I'm in the wrong, I will admit that, and I will change my what I'm doing with her. Okay?
Okay.
I'm happy to change for her to support her. You can let her know that.
Good. Okay.
I like changing. I always get something when I change. You know, it's good for me. Now, Bootsy, what were you in the middle of saying before you had to leave for a minute?
We were testing on Lisa.
Okay, let's get back to John.
Right.
The only thing to do with somebody is the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if we do it and they can't handle it or it doesn't work, then we talk to somebody else.
Yeah.
Does everybody understand this?
Sure.
If John McDougall can't handle getting real help, because, see, I know you and you really do care about him and you want to help him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was being you. Remember the other day when you and I were talking, I guess just yesterday, and I said that, you know, the vegetarians aren't going to change the world, remember?
Yes.
And you remember what your reaction to that was?
Probably react to that right now.
Which is what? What's your reaction now?
That the vegetarians are not going to change the world?
Man, I said that, and remember, you had a reaction to it, remember?
Well, you know, it's... Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, but you knew it was true.
Yeah, I do know it's true.
I mean, that's right, and your immediate reaction was, oh, yeah, really, I know that, you know. It was like totally a given for you. And you know that he is galloping down the wrong gully, and he's going to get massacred. You know that about him. I was being you in that role play. Get it?
Yes.
And you know, remember I asked you a long time ago if you saw a mugging, would you break it up?
If I saw what?
If you saw somebody getting mugged in the street, would you stop the mugging?
Yeah.
And
remember.
And what do you feel about that now? What's your answer to that today?
Yes, I would do it.
Okay. Because there was one thing that I wanted to say that I never said, which is, you know, I think that Franny has stopped a couple of muggings. And I know I have too. And one thing I know about Franny will not allow something like that to happen. See what I'm saying? And you know, that Franny is the spirit of the Cure Team. Like, we have to be like interveners, like Superman or Batman or somebody. You know, we're like superheroes. All of us are. And we come in where somebody is in peril and we save their life. That's what we do. That's our mission, our function, our role in this world. And we're trying to get this global result, but, you know, what we're talking about right now is just a guy who, this John McDougall, is dedicating his life to saving the planet. And he's working like a mad fiend to do that. And he deserves for us to take a risk with him, and if he can't handle it, then we walk away and take a risk with somebody else. But he is certainly strong enough from what I see. You have chapped lips.
Yeah.
You better check yourself for allergies. It might be allergies. It's possible.
No, it's just dry as hell here.
Okay.
I live in the Alps. It's like high up, you know.
You know what I did, Boots, that really helped me? But I don't know if you have the option to do this. You might. Do you have a humidifier?
No.
Well, what I did, I had steam heat, and I put a special thing instead of the valve on it. I put this thing that let the steam out all the time.
I need some.
Yeah, and you can find them if you have steam heat. Otherwise, you got to buy humidifiers and put them in every room in the house. It's just awful. Dryness is really bad for you.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Not
anti-aging at all.
That's right. Not in Santa Fe. The kind of dryness that's there is fine. But when it's heat dryness, it's really bad for you. So, you know, do something about it.
I gotta get out of here, for sure.
Do you mean leave that room right now or leave the Alps forever? What are you talking
about?
No. But the Alps are so wonderful, though.
But they're dry. They're drying up here.
Oh, come on. You know, it's going to be spring before you know it, and you're going to be dancing around, jumping on your trampoline.
Easy for you to say. I have a foot of snow out my window.
Well, this looks like a good increment of work for us. By the way, Micah, your camera's off. Oh, there you go.
You didn't tell the two stories, Bob.
Oh. Well, you know what? I don't know if I can remember my stories. Micah, can you talk?
Yeah, I've been typing. I didn't want to make any noise.
Thank you. That's fine. I appreciate it. Okay. So what we're doing here is we're talking about contacting people and creating real relationships with them. We are not talking about contacting people and telling them what we want to do and doing it and see if they come through and tip cure. We are talking about building the kinds of relationships with supporters that we have with each other, which may be somewhat different in the sense that our supporters may not come to this meeting. Like Ron Brody doesn't come to this meeting, he works. But he is still like a Cure Team member to me. So, you know, we tailor this to people's needs, but what we are looking for is real relationships. And what you were doing with John McDougall in that role play is an example of that. Okay, Boots?
Yep.
Now, do you feel like you're ready to do that with somebody?
I'm going to do it on Sunday.
What are you doing on Sunday?
I'm meeting on Skype with a friend in Barb, and we're going to cure some stuff with somebody that knows nothing about it.
Barb, I love you and I appreciate you. I do.
Me too.
I really appreciate you. I'm so glad you guys are doing this. Bootsy, I want to ask you for a favor. You know this letter that you read?
Yeah.
Well, I want you to read it again, and I want to call you like maybe sometime tomorrow, and I want you to tell me anything that you see that you might want me to change, or that it's fine the way it is. Okay? I just want you to give it one more go over. And I don't know when a good time is to call you. So you got any? I mean, we'll probably be on 5 or 10 minutes, so, you know.
Well, the time that we have our shows or this time is good.
Okay, so this time. And should I try your, if you're not by the computer, I could just try your phone.
Absolutely.
Like the landline, I'll call, because that way you won't have to go set up Skype and everything, you know, we can just talk on the phone.
Well, my computer's often on, and so if you need me online, just go ahead and do the Skype, and if not, just call the landline.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay?
So that's great. Now, you know, I had these 2 stories. Franny said she reminded me I didn't tell the stories, and I can't remember them. And also, it's time for us to stop. And I think we did really good stuff. You know, so I don't know if I even feel like telling any stories, even if I did remember them. You know, I love what we did in this meeting. I certainly learned a lot from it, because I'll tell you something. When I came into this meeting, I was not as committed to real relationships as I am now.
Really?
Yes, I wasn't getting it. You know, I wasn't.
When did it change?
Well, one thing that changed is that Barb had me, she threw down on me.
I had him up against the wall. Boom, boom.
I know. Barb.
And then she saw John McDougal and you, Bootsy, and he softened up.
Barb threw down on me, because when you were saying you have to do this or that or the other things, you know, and I had to, it really challenged me. I had to say, okay, what if all I get from talking tonight is what I am talking about in this letter? Is that okay? And I had to say yes, it would be, because I honestly feel that he might come up with an idea, something that, like with Lady in the Water. You know, this Cure Team is a result of Lady in the Water. And by the way, get Lady in the Water and watch it.
I was the Lady in the Water. That's a great movie. that was me.
I'm sure. Yes. Yes, we had to send you to safety, Barb.
I would be dead.
Oh my man. God.
Okay.
This is wonderful, you know. But anyway, so the answer is, what I need, one of the things I need is more people like you. And see, the truth is, you're like M. Night Shyamalan. You are like him.
Bootsy?
Yeah, no, you, Bootsy, Micah, you know, you're all exceptional. You know, Micah, I do want to say that whatever else I say about your experience and so on, you are an exceptional person.
Thank you.
And you have had an interesting life.
Thank you.
So I think that you're good. I really, I get you. You know? I appreciate you. And by the way, it is far superior to be able to see you, to just hearing you.
Thank you.
It is far superior, really.
Yeah, it's better.
My hat's off to you, as you can see.
Another thing is, you and I both shave our heads.
Let's stop there.
And we also have big gaps between, you and I both have big gaps between our front teeth.
That means you'll be far from your mother when you die.
That's right. It means you'll be far from your parents when they die.
Yes.
Are your parents still alive?
Yes.
Are you far from them?
Very.
Here we go.
I was too. That's a Chinese medicine diagnosis thing.
It's called the Terry Thomas effect.
The Terry Thomas effect. So with that,
it's a Madonna effect too.
so with this, I will say thank you to everybody. Anybody want to say any closing remarks or final anything?
Have a beautiful weekend.
Bootsy, you know what?
I love you.
Doing what you're doing with Barb on Sunday is great practice.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's great practice. That's what we got to do. That's how you get to Carnegie Hall. Okay, guys.
Practice, practice, practice.
Thanks for being here, Micah and
Thank
Rose.
you.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike. right, guys?
Thanks, Ross.
Bye later.
Thank you.
And you,
Ciao, ciao.
goodbye.
I'm linking my gravitational body with everybody on this call.
144th dimension, go.
Let's all go to the 144th dimension right now. See ya.
Sunday!
Alright.
Sunday!
This movie was given to you by HUM, the World Ministry of IMMUNICS, which enables you to cure medically incurable diseases. We also produce the Cure Drive in the iCollege of IMMUNICS. This is the home page. And as you see here, the movie that starts playing automatically when the page opens is a 3-hour tutorial film, which underneath it is the beginning of a series of movies. If you click on these links, you go to another movie that's a continuation of the tutorial, showing different aspects of the things that people need to get into when they cure things. The movie shows many people curing things. You'll find complete cure tutorials on the home page. Under the group at the top is another, this is a video and text tutorial, and if you click on the link, you'll see it has 10 lessons, and you can click on each lesson and you'll see that the lessons are movies interspersed with explanations. And if you continue scrolling down the home page, you'll find a huge bank of movies of people curing things. Here's one of someone curing multiple sclerosis that you can click on and these play. Hopefully this one will play in a moment. There it is. So that woman cured PPMS and MS. Here you'll find people from every continent: Europe, the US, Asia, Canada. This woman cured shingles, and in this particular movie that's what she's demonstrating. And at the top of the home page you will find links to the cure meetings that we have every week. 9 p.m. New York time, Rome time 8 p.m. Underneath the cure meetings you'll find a link to Friend Me. It's actually Bayard. I'm Bayard speaking to you on Facebook, and you'll meet many people who are my Facebook friends there who have cured various diseases. Many of us have cured herpes, which is what I cured. Also there, if you have trouble getting signals, there is a whole bank of movies that focus on people who are just starting to get their first signals. Many of these people went on to bigger and better things, and you see them in other movies. But these are movies about their signals, how they got their first signals. At the very top of the home page, you will find above the masthead a link to the cure shows. And we documented people curing things on, we did this on the phone. There are shows on about 75 diseases, and the diseases are listed alphabetically, as you can see. You actually hear the people curing these diseases during these shows. That's post-traumatic stress syndrome from 9/11, the catastrophe. We have a show on that, and fever, somebody curing the fever, several people curing fibromyalgia, flu. We had a flu hotline, and there are many people. These people are actually curing flu, and the flu stops. It clears up during the 15 or 20 minutes of the call. It doesn't take long to cure the flu. Over here you have paralysis, parasitic parenting, Parkinson's disease. When you cure something, please join your voice with the voices of the many people who came before you by reporting your cure in our poll, which you can do right above the tally of the cures that people have reported is here at the top. And as you can see, there's a little link here. And if you click on that, you will come to a form that enables you to report your cure. This page is the hub of the Web College. And as you can see, there are detailed lessons on how to remove viruses, cure cancer. Here's a movie on the right here of a doctor who actually years ago cured the flu on camera. You'll notice that skill 1 in the hierarchy of skills is cure physical diseases. That's actually the easiest thing with this particular approach. And I've put a great many things in the hierarchy of skills that relate to curing physical diseases, such as ending trauma, working on your organs. Now, if we go into the Recode Your DNA, there are 10 applications or 11 applications, and Recode Your DNA is one of them. If we go inside here, what we see is a page with a huge amount of links. And then if we look at the links on the right, after the ones on the left which prepare you, these are the actual lessons. And you can see some of them. It might be hard for some people to see why blind installation procedure is related to recoding your DNA. And this is why we've put it in this application, so that it relates it in your mind. This is the reason the Web College is organized the way it is to relate things for you in your mind. And obviously there are a huge number of things, like if you're curing cancer or herpes or any medically incurable disease, it's obvious that there are a great many things that you have to learn. And they're different for everybody. You do not have to learn everything that's listed here. And in fact, cure is instantaneous. And it's always unexpected how it will come. Like, watch these women. They're going to give you a perspective. This is a good way to conclude this little overview I'm giving you here. Say, can I go to the 144th dimension? See if you get a signal on that. Can I go to the 144th dimension?
Can I go to the 144th dimension? Yes? I guess I can.
Go ahead and do it.
Okay, both of you go to the 144th dimension.
I'm taking myself to the 144th dimension.
Me too.
No stopping for gas on the 8th dimension.
I feel clear.
Yeah, I feel less interested in anything below the 144th dimension.
Can we stay here all the time?
I know, exactly.
Well, I mean, this would take a lot of backstory, but there are some decisions that my family's making that I now feel clear about.
Yes, because when you have that perspective from the 144th dimension,
Yeah.
you simply don't care about anything as much.
That's exactly it. But I don't care doesn't sound so good.
Well, see, that's right.
That is it. That's really
Not in effect.
When people hear we say we don't care, they go, "Well, God, that's sick," you know.
I know. It's good